Okay, so we're going to go over perimeter. The first one they have in the book there is actually a triangle. So I'm just going to quickly make a triangle here. Okay, and the way that they show a triangle is they name the sides. They call side A, B, and C. Okay, and they use the letter P to represent perimeter. Okay, so what they're saying is P, which is perimeter, is equal to, and then all they do is put in the sides A, B, and C, right? So essentially what they're saying is perimeter is equal to, say if we were walking, okay, this is when I walk to here, how far did I go? Then to here, how far did I go? And then to here, how far did I go? Okay? So essentially it's going all the way around whatever shape it is. So you would be adding these up. So if, let's say we have measurements for these, we'll quickly put them up. We'll say this is 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So what that is perimeter is equal to A was 3. Okay? And we'll say it's in centimeters. B is 5, and C is 4. Okay? So perimeter of this object, you know what it would be offhand? That's right, really simple. It's 12 centimeters, right? So we just add them all together to do that. Okay? The next one they show is a rectangle. Okay, so like we said, they're working with a rectangle. Now, a rectangle, how many sides does a rectangle have?
4.
Yeah, that's right. We got 4 sides. Anything special about the sides at all that we can mention?
Two of the sides are equal and other two are equal.
Okay, yeah, so let's say this is side A, B, C, and D. What can you tell me about them in terms of their letters?
A and C are the same length.
Yeah, that's right. Good, good. So I'm just going to highlight those two, both yellow, that are the same length. So we know those are the same length. And we know B and D are going to be the same length, right? Okay. So perimeter, again, is like walking all the way around something. So in this case, our perimeter is going to be what letters put together?
A, B, C.
Yeah, that's right. A plus B plus C plus D, right? C plus D. Oops, wrong letter. Okay. Now, instead of using letters, what they usually do is they call something a length and a width, right? So let's say, instead of using those letters, we're going to copy the same triangle, and we're going to use length and width instead. Okay, so same one, but instead of calling it A, B, C, and D, like we have above, we're going to rename it length and width, right? So we'll say this is our length and this is width. Okay. In terms of length and width, remember we had said, you know, I will write them out, that we know that A is equal to what side? C. Okay. And B was equal to what?
D.
That's right. B is equal to D in terms of length. Those sides are equal. So when we take a look at this, my length, I can represent this side here with what letter too? With length again, right? Because they're going to be the exact same. So I can call that L also. And then this W, I can represent this side with what? Yeah, with another W. Okay. So let's try this again. Perimeter is equal to W plus W plus
L.
plus.
L.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So think of it like we're adding. Like I know these aren't numbers, these are letters. But if I add one W and one W, how many W's will I have?
2.
I'll have 2 W's. So I can simplify this by saying perimeter is equal to 2 W's plus, and what about the L's?
2.
Yeah, that's right. If I have 1 L plus 1 L, and I put them together, I'm going to have 2 L's, right? So we call this 2L. Now what they do is something a little more advanced, because they've given you, oh no, they've actually done it like that. So they have 2W plus 2L. And what this means is number 2 times the width plus number 2 times the length, okay? So that's one formula you can use for it. Another one is this. These are all good formulas to use. They all work. So we'll call this the first one, where you just put all four together and add them up. In the second one, for perimeter, we take the width and we multiply it by 2, take the length, multiply it by 2, and add them together. And here's the third one, okay? You won't really learn factoring for a couple of years, but this is what they do. They go 2W plus L, okay? And remember, BEDMAS, we deal with the brackets first. So all I would have to do is add these two together and then multiply it by 2. All three of these formulas work for a rectangle. Obviously, the easiest one to remember is probably the first guy, because he's the same as a triangle. You just walk around the square, right? Or the rectangle. So what we'll do in this one is we'll actually give it some numbers, okay? So I know it's been a little confusing here. We'll duplicate that rectangle one more time. All right, let's give it some numbers this time, okay? We'll say that this is about 3. We'll say this is about 6, okay? And this time it'll be meters, okay? Now, according to what we have above, we have 3 different formulas we can plug this into, right? We can go into our first formula, which is W plus L plus L. So what is our 3? Is that our length or our width?
3 is the width and 6 is the length.
Yeah, that's right. 6 will be our length, okay? So what about this side of the rectangle? How long is this side?
3.
Yeah, that's right. It's 3 meters. And this side of the rectangle?
6.
6 meters. Good. So 6 meters. Okay. So let's plug those into this. We would get P is equal to what numbers? 3. Mhm. Good. 6 plus 6. Okay. So let's quickly do this. What's 3 plus 3? And 6 plus 6? Okay, so we simplified it, 12. And then 6 plus 12 is 18. Good. Alright, so that was the first way. Let's quickly do it all 3 ways, just so we see how we get the answer. The second formula we had was P was equal to 2W plus 2L. Do you remember that one?
Would you add 6 plus 3 multiplied by 2?
That will be for the last one. For this one, what we'll do is we're going to replace W with 3, and we're going to replace L with the number 6. Okay? So we'll get perimeter is equal to, and this means 2 times 3. Have you seen that before when a number's beside a bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means multiplied. Plus 2, and then L is length, times 6. Okay, so let's think of our BEDMAS again. P is equal, what's 2 times 3?
6.
And 2 times 6?
12.
Okay, before we even go on, see any similarities? We're already at that step again, right? Exact same thing. So P will be equal to 18. And then the very last formula, we'll do it over here, was the perimeter was equal to the number 2 times width plus length. Okay? So same idea like we said before. We replaced the W with the 3, and we replaced the L with the number 6. Okay? So we get P is equal to 2 times our width is 3, and our length is 6. Okay? This one's going to look a little different. According to BEDMAS, what do I do with first?
The bracket.
Okay, so what do I do in those brackets?
You add 3 plus 6.
And what will we get?
9.
9. Okay? So this isn't a similar step to any of these yet. You see that we haven't come across that yet. But what is 2 times 9?
18.
Is that the same answer we got for all of the other ones?
Yes.
That's right. So all 3 of those formulas will work, okay? So we went through quite a few there, all right? Triangle, and it was the same rectangle, but we just showed you how we got to all of our answers, okay? Okay, another one we're going to do here is a square, okay? Now, again, we can call a square, it's 4-sided shape, A, B, C, and D, right? We can name all the sides. Anything special about the sides in a square?
They're all equal.
Yeah, they're all equal. So, on the side, I can write side A is equal to side B, which is,
Equal to side C
yeah,
and D.
Yeah, that's right. So all of these are equal, right? So instead of writing 4 different letters for this, because they're all the same length, let's just call it one letter. Let's call it side, okay? And just to prove it, we're going to highlight these. We know that all these sides are the exact same length. Okay, that's why we're doing them all in green. They're all the same length, okay? So let's get another rectangle. Okay, so we got another square. This time we're just going to call it S for side, okay? So I'm going to call this S. Now, because they're all equal, what can I name this in terms of a letter?
S.
Yeah, I could call that S2 because it's the same. What about the one on top?
S.
And the one to the left?
S.
That's right. So we can call these all S. Now remember, perimeter is walking around something, right? So we could say the perimeter of this object is S plus S plus S plus S. Okay, that's the first formula we could use. And second formula, if I got S plus S plus S plus S, so 4 of them, how can I represent it instead?
By number.
How many S's are there?
4.
So I could say 4 times what?
4 times 4.
Well, that's going to be an exact number. What is this variable here? What is this letter?
Oh, S.
S, yeah. Instead of just adding them all together, I could take one side and multiply it by 4. So these are our two formulas for a perimeter of a square. We're going to try both out. So let's say we get a side length here. We're going to say these are 3. Okay, so we'll say this guy is 3. 3 kilometers this time. Okay, so if this is 3 kilometers, what's this side up here?
3 kilometers.
And the top
3 kilometers.
and the left.
3 kilometers.
That's right. They're all 3 kilometers, right? Because it's a square. So let's plug those numbers in. We'll use the first formula. Perimeter is equal to, what do I replace these S's with? Yeah, so 3 plus, alright, what is that going to give us? Do you know? Yeah, that's right. We get 12 kilometers. Okay, formula 2. Perimeter is equal to 4 times S. So we're going to replace S with the number 3. So we get P is equal to 4 times 3. What will we get? Yeah. Nice fast way of doing it, eh? Yeah, that one worked out quite quickly. 12 kilometers. So that's what we've done so far. All of that.